All right, welcome everybody to Base Invaders, presented by Rustoria Servers and sponsored by RustyPot.com. I'm Jamerson, and joining me this week for the 3v3s is going to be Hyperactive, a new face on the broadcast. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing really well. I saw the opportunity to watch things blow up, and already you piqued my interest. I am ready to see things blow up, but first, it is going to be the attack phase. We had a good, ample amount of time to see our buildings be built, but we're going into attack, and that hard point is going to be the most crucial area of them all, as well as, of course, all the kills that you can get on the same time. And look at that building, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Beautiful.
The introduction of our new hard point. So we have a lot more buildings that you can actually play inside of. Before, the hard point was pretty flat and there were a few walls that you can play around. But now this is some weird amalgamation of, like, you got some outpost buildings here, you got some power plant, train yard buildings. So this is still going to feel familiar to a lot of our people. Like, just overall, they should have experience with these buildings and how to fight around them. So this is going to be a lot of fun to see how these PvP objectives actually work out.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting as well, being that CQB nature. So we're going to see a lot more closer fighting. Though we did say in the build phase, we're kind of questioning who's going to be the first person to try and get on top of the building and decide to snipe and take advantage. As already a helicopter has been utilized, and I can imagine the devastation that's coming that way.
Yeah, we'll see how quickly R3s can take the heli down. And of course, you have to remember that there has been the heli AI change that when it goes down, it's going to try and crash down. Or, well, not try. It definitely will go ahead and crash down at one of our monuments. We've seen it very much favor one throughout the day. We'll see if that remains to be the case. Ooh, looks
Yeah.
like the heli gets its first kill onto one of the one win members here. But yeah, this is going to be difficult in threes to try and take it down fast.
Yeah, like if you had eights, because I was watching previously the 8v8s, I saw that went down within what 30 seconds, but with only three people firing at that thing, yeah, it's gonna be a little while. I feel these are gonna be massive power casts, so I wouldn't be surprised if there is some slight teaming, especially if they go close to neighboring bases, that they try and just gang up. And you can see it here, a lot of people ganging up onto the helicopter, trying to take it down early on, take away power and control, and the missiles will fire in, and will it connect? No, it will connect to the building, but not the people.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a better look at this base. It doesn't look like it's completely upgraded yet, but they will have time to finish this one off. A nice little chunky base for a threes. I'm really surprised when it comes to these smaller team sizes, the kinds of builds that our teams are still able to actually accomplish in the short time that we have during the build phase.
But if you think of, like Minecraft's pro builders, how quickly they can build stuff, you can apply those skills to Rust and how quickly you can build something here. As long as you got, say, two people out doing the materials run, they're coming back every so often, dropping it off, and you got your quick guy doing the builds. Hey, that could be one way, or they're just going and having everybody building at once. But that helicopter finally taken down, that didn't last too long. I thought that helicopter was going to be more devastating for a little bit longer. I'm trying to work out if Jameson's still alive or if the server just died on me. Ah, well, it seems like Jameson has somehow disappeared, but nonetheless, you can see the wrecked site of the helicopter. And in lies a lot of juicy bits of loot, and you can only imagine what juicy loot you can have inside. May that be a rocket, may that be a couple more weapons. Nonetheless, there's in a kind of position. It's in an awkward place, not easy to fight. You've got the power station nearby. And a lot of buildings, we can already see who's that running across. Looks to be W, making their way to try and take advantage of the loot. Nobody too close by. There are a couple, two other people just in the distance, but it will be the W's getting it. But a neighboring base, I wouldn't be surprised if the neighboring base does have a shot at going for that loot as well. It'd be quite interesting. And here's WWW. Nice advantageous position. You don't want to kind of rush into it. You want to take your time before going and grabbing the loot. And I think if he takes a little too long, the neighboring teams will come over. Two bases close by, and they are converging onto the area. So 3 kills might be an easy opportunity. And honestly, I think that might be the better option as already. A little bit of fire from a distance will tag it down. I think that's quickly to 861 before the heals come back in. So smarter decisions. Don't go for the loot, go for the kills.
All
Right,
right,
Jamerson
sorry
off the
about that.
desk.
I'm
Oh, there we go.
back.
He's back. I was about to join in
There
for you,
we
mate.
go. Yeah, I don't know what happened. My Go XLR just kind of died. But yeah, we're back on in and taking a look at the leaderboard right now. It doesn't seem like too many people are taking advantage of a hard points. As you can see, I mean, typically 7 minutes in, someone's crested 20, 30 points off of hard point alone. But we do have some PvP going on over here at Power Plant.
And that's going to be some easy points. Of course, as I mentioned before, that helicopter down will massively favor them. And it's going to be a 1v1 fight. It's going to be... They're still having the cover to fend them off. One down to 25, one down to 30 now. And there seems to be a third party coming into this 1v1 fight. And somehow they both stay alive. And if you're Twin Joker, you're just going to run away, save your life, and not give a free point away.
See, this is why I like the Heli changes, forcing us to have PvP in different areas of the map. I love this, but it looks like Chev have done enough to force people off. Joker is just going to take time, maybe wait for his teammates to get back on in. Can't really do much in this 1v3 situation.
If you're Chev, I'd want to engage. You know, you've got 1 point or one kill. If you get another one, you're gonna jump this leaderboard really early on. And I spoke way too soon, as commentator's curse really does not favor me all too well.
Yeah, I mean, they had the 1v2 exchange there, so really well done at the end of the day. But right now, it does look like other teams are looking to get involved. We got Mate there in the back. Chev. Ooh, they've got one person lurking in, but it's the first person to touch the boxes when they have extinguished themselves that will get the points. But of course, the loot from Heli is huge, peeking through the window. Gets tagged once. We'll see if he wants to try and push off of this. No, it looks like he is favoring just going straight for the objective.
Well, Mate has been waiting around, first on scene, first to survey it, and I'm not surprised that after now hearing the gunshots around, that finally the W's will come in and take the point, and then he's going to say thank you so much, but you've got to be careful from above for anyone who tries to push the position, because Mate's now got reinforcements, so W, who was alone, now has hit up in the tower. And this makes it for quite an interesting battle, because trees down low, they've got some nice cover, but all that open space to get to the helicopter, that's not going to work out too well. And somehow, Mate stays alive and will continue to keep the objective alive and claim all those points. And now it's retreating back, claimed all the loot they need, and somehow get out there without giving up a life.
Yeah, just getting out of there underneath from the sewer system. But, ooh, a nice little lurk play. We'll see. I think Hit might have hurt him. No, he doesn't respond in time. Vax will be able to go ahead and pick up that kill. We'll see if he can get sight over the other players. I think there was one last crate that ended up extinguishing there, but Tree ends up getting that point. Mate, though, picks up one more PvP kill. And again, I love this change for the Heli AI going down at a monument, forcing PvP across the map, and now we've got our second helicopter coming in.
You look at top, gang is right there. He's got a lovely position, and they are going to try and take advantage. You've got Tree up on top of the building as well. Again, another advantageous position, and they're going to take advantage. But once you're inside these very constructed areas, the problem lies of moving away, because you want to now take down that next helicopter. You want to then grab the loot that comes with it. So you're left in this predicament. You're stuck with teams around you, and you can't exit this site.
Yeah, especially with the amount of teams that are currently in the area right now. And to speak to that one point, I mean, you've even got extra objectives, hackable crates across the map, and you saw where the hell he landed. There is a hackable crate up there. I don't know if you've reduced timers on that for Base Invaders. I can't imagine you want to wait the entirety of a default timer, but hey, it's only 4 minutes here, so you'll be able to hang around for that one, and that also gives you amazing loot.
You want to take advantage. So I see now why people want to stay a little bit longer. But if you're gang, yeah, that's again, you're too far away from the objective. 4 minutes to push up. If you rush it, yes, you could get it, but how much damage is that gonna leave you as the helicopter comes in? And I feel sorry for this little base and the damage that will incur. That will be Chevy's base. And okay, we're safe. We're safe for now.
Yeah, that's definitely not a base that wants to try and pull the heli aggro. Ooh, definitely don't want to take it when you're inside the E-boxes over here. But you saw that the shooting floor didn't really have cover. This base from Tree can definitely try and take it here. We'll see if they're going to be successful. But we are running into that issue where I think the heli is going to go down at power plant once again.
This could be very interesting. So this goes against my thought of if this heli goes down there, that you don't want to go away. But the thing is, there's only one player in this Tree base, and they're trying to destroy the helicopter. You're left alone to fortify your base, and next thing you know, you got this big old helicopter. There's the worst case scenario.
Is next run through, and it looks like they will survive for now. But yeah, that helicopter is on its last legs. Whoever takes out the back rotor will definitely do the rest of the server a favor, and it looks like it is going to be going down once again over here at power plant.
Well, there's a lot of teams, goons, gangs, all there, ready and waiting. The helicopter's still up. You just need a few more bullets in that thing. It's got to go down at some point. And will it fall? There it is. And it's now going to fall a bit to the mid of the map. And that is so open. And you can already see gangs and goons. Well, gang will go down. Goons or folks will take that near the hackable objective as well. And that hackable objective, that surely must be down to 0 at this point. Oh, minute 50.
Yeah. We've got about 2 more minutes here, and you know what? Yeah, he'll take his time. He could definitely wait this one out, and you can see all the little playable areas. That's what I love. The PvP around these monuments, absolutely so much fun. We did have one week where it just kept going down at millitons. And well, millitons is all underground, so the PvP up top just was not that fun. Not too many teams wanted to contest that one, but this one you can see why people want to try and get their rat on. There's so many plays that you could be able to make in this kind of environment.
Many plays indeed, and a few of them deciding to be Mario inside the tube, but on the outside, who's this little runner we got coming here? It's going to be one of the gang members, as Mason is going to try and take advantage of this building. Now, we have to remember, there's a few goons up top that he will need to take advantage of. I don't know if he knows the goons still have control above, because as soon as he fires, they know someone's now inside their own building. But in comparison, if they were not on top, this would be fantastic. Taking a good surveying control over that crashed site. However, you're not in a great position because of who's above you. Trees also getting nice and close. They might try a little push, try and extinguish at least one of the fires. Instead, gives away the location, and the shot super successful.
Wow. Just
Damn.
double tapped straight to the dome. I don't even know how he saw him through that smoke. That's absolutely insane. I wonder if he knows that Fax is up there. He's been pretty quiet up there since he won out that 1v1 duel. But he can learn from the time being. You can see Chef just having to watch on. So many teams are in this area. We got Tree, we got Mates, we got Goons, and Gang here as well. Again, so many teams fighting over this. Speaking about points, though, if we take a look at the leaderboard right now, it's one win. They have to be just controlling the hard point. 50 points right now. Basically, they're close to almost a full TC over the next team down. That's going to be Goons at 18 points.
I'm not surprised Goons are second. They have locked down this power plant and made it their own, and they continue to do it. And finally, Mate, we haven't actually seen them for a hot minute. They started off controlling this zone with W, and now Hit came in a bit later on to support W to extinguish a lot of the crates, get those points, and finally Mate's back into this little fight. I guess there's a lot of information, a lot of tells that say, hey, some easy free kills, and that's exactly what these guys are going to do. Take the free kills, take advantage of, the amount of players around here, because every point does matter.
Yeah, we got 13 minutes left here in the attack phase. And with all these teams just fighting over the objectives right now, we're not seeing too many teams looking to try and control a base early on, which honestly can be difficult with threes, but also if you can control a base, it becomes so incredibly strong. Put teams on timers and get ready to see for them down. But some of them might be struggling for the boom. They might actually need the loot out of these crates right now. You can see Fax now poking his head out. He was working for a really long time up there. Rivera getting some shots off onto him, and we saw, or excuse me, Riera, we saw how deadly his aim was, but here it is. Mate actually getting a push out, getting 3 crates, and getting right on out. 28 points now for them.
Again, same guy, WWW from Mate, again, getting that early advantage on the objective. He did it on the first helicopter, he's now doing it on the second. His teammate Hit not there necessarily to back him up, but you can see that the focus will be diverted as Blue, again, ever so close to a base that is not his own. I'm surprised Chevy haven't popped out and taken him out.
It looks like they're trying to get someone on the roof right now to deal with him. You always do have to worry about a threat outside of your base. BLI going for that peak. I think he might have been able to get him here, but yeah, he's going to stay healthy for now. You can see 2 members getting onto the roof. Ooh, a difficult wall off here, but it shouldn't matter too much because they did end up building on this cliff side. We'll see if that ends up hurting them later on, but I think in the threes, that's a pretty decent build spot overall.
Advantageous. You got sightlines everywhere. I would personally maybe add a couple of, not strong, maybe just a couple of wooden walls just to make it harder for players to move up that hill. That's what I would personally do, but yeah, for sightlines, you've got a mass amount of sightlines. You can see into the power plant. If you do get your hands on a sniper, hey, now you're fair games. You can play these long shot games and take advantage. But I do believe finally goons have been taken out of the power plant area,
I think he
and
decided to just take a quick little nap here. We'll probably get right back into the game in just a moment. Very unfortunate, but hey, I think all the points have already been picked up off the crates there. I think they just need to get out with the loot. We'll see. I'm pretty sure the boxes are still there, but over here at the hard point, it looks like one win finally have been kicked out. Overall, it's going to be Dumanoid controlling it for the time being. And they're not on the feed quite yet in terms of the top 10 for points, but this will definitely help them out. As you can see, Dumanoid all the way down there in 17th. Yeah, they have just started accruing points.
yeah, but you also see there's one member of One Win still around, so the job from One Win is not done. Actually, I spoke too soon. That player has disappeared. No, he isn't. There he is. Mango just popped into the points. Now it's contested, so if you are Dumanoid, you've got to sniff out that One Win player, but if you're One Win, all you have to do is just delay a little bit of time. If you want to bring another player in to come and attack from the opposite side, you might as well do it. And one win, they want to continue the hard point streak that they have been accumulating. They'll go off point for a couple of seconds. And finally, the third helicopter comes in. Please land somewhere other than power plants. Just to a little bit of a spicy taste. But hey, if it does land to power plant again, it's going to be another interesting battle.
It's definitely a hell of a week for us to introduce the new hard point. When we have threes, you don't have as many bodies that can roam around and try and clear this one out. One win are in. Dumanoid should know that someone is contesting it. Mango is looking. He's clearing every single angle. He is moving through this place right now, and I'm surprised that Dumanoid haven't sent in more quite yet. You can see one team member way far off. It's going to be the 1v1 versus Janice and Mango here. Peeking the wrong angle. Janice is looking away. Dumanoid actually going to survive for now, but there it is. Mango creeping on up, and the timing.
Oh, that is perfect timing, but here comes Dumanoid with the vehicle. Eventually, information's given away. Somehow, still alive. Mango trying to get the shots onto the vehicle, but that armor on the vehicle just keeping him alive. All of Dumanoid, by the way, are on this point, so no one's at their base. They are completely committed to the hard point. 1v3 situation is what Mango will have to do. And he will keep himself alive. And finally, a second member of One Win will come in. 2v2 coming in. One will fall. Now down to one member of Dumanoid. He's on the outside of the vehicle. Will fall. And I believe that's full control for One Win.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they were. I don't even know if we got anywhere where you can pop a code lock onto the camper van. And honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a camper van being used here in Base Invaders. But here comes Mate now pushing in full three to contest one win. Now they're up as two. They're coming in all from the same angle here. They've been spotted out. Mango gets first contact. One win. We'll try and trade out, but looks like they only get the one knock. No, it's two as Mango backs away, playing his life now, waiting for his teammate to get back.
How is Mango this skilled? He is fended off one team. Now he's doing it for a second. He's on a 5 streak. What the hell is this man eating? Because he is on fire. And One Win continues to dominate. We've seen the power of Mate and what they were capable of inside the power plant. But they just can't do the hard point.
Yeah, so that's going to be some valuable points coming in for One Win now at 67. Mates, we saw them picking up a lot of the crates over at Heli, but it's again almost that full TC lead that One Win currently have over the rest of the lobby. And oh, look at that third Heli coming in over here at Power Plant. We'll see if Mate can try and pull aggro for it. It should actually be aggroed onto someone in this area and go down. If it goes over to Dome, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all.
Wouldn't be mad as well. It's a very open site to play if it goes down at Dome, but you've also got the inside of the Dome, that tricky area as it will fall.
Hey.
Top of the Dome! Oh, that's interesting. A couple that's landed a bit lower. So one easy, well, I say easier position of a crate, but the rest of them are all on top. So grab the one down low, and then you've got to navigate your way up through the dome.
Yeah, that one's gonna be the easy one, right? Oh no, that's just fire. So it's not actually one of
Ooh.
the crates. Large majority of them are gonna be right up here. We got one, two, three, and then where is the last one? There we go. All right. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think maybe one more.
Well, it looks to be the large majority is going to be on top. Yeah, it's confirmed. All 5 are on top. That is awkward as... oh, it didn't take too long for people to find their way up here, as Tree will be the ones to claim very easy control of the dome. And honestly, at this point, if they realize there's no one around them, claim the objective and Tree will jump up in points.
Yeah, I think today so far, this is the most we've seen helis, like scrap helis and minis being utilized throughout the attack phase. Not that often we get to see it, but It's going to be hard to contest at this point. I mean, just try to approach at all when you got complete line of sight around you. Dumanoid, though, are up for it. So we'll see. Coming in almost half naked here, so they're not risking too much. I don't know if maybe a little bit poor, but hey, yeah, they're going to go for it. All three members are here. We'll see if Tree are ready for that climb up.
I don't. They did shoot, so I do believe there might be some, heightened senses for Tree. I wouldn't be surprised if they're ready for an attack, but as I said, it's that climb to get up. That's going to be the long, annoying section of this. And then when they get there, how well do they know that Tree's actually up there? Well, I think the fact there's no fire might give them an indication someone's been there. But whether they will be prepared is another question. They're making good progress with this.
Yeah, there's really only one way to approach this. Isn't like we're fighting at launch site or at power plant where there are multiple ways you can approach this. So you have to imagine that Tree are more than ready for it, keeping an eye on the ladder at this point. And if they get caught off guard, I mean, this is Tree's fight to lose.
It really is. And you can see Tree, they got one member down on the ground, so that will be helpful. But there's going to be a one-on-one engagement between Tree and Goons. Where they're going to spot that? Have they realized their positions? So this is just on the outside of the dome. Tree, a little bit of not realizing where they are. Seems to be a little bit of a low-level low level. What was that? I was expecting a fight. Hang on a minute. Boys, turn around. They're literally next to each other. As I think Goons, has he got the sight line yet? No, he still hasn't. Has he even spotted Tree over there? Hello?
Mo saw him at the last moment. Mo was making a lot of noise there, which is why Fax was just lurking, but he ended up losing sight of him. Unfortunately, he heard him jumping around. He knew someone was up there, but yeah, he's also got to be careful. He's got oversight. You can see the tree members up top now, forcing him back, healing on the way out, and he gets that low wall down just in time to stay alive. But this 1v1 means that there's a distraction out here. Dumanoid now starting to creep up. You can see they pulled their attention away from that climb up. Joker ends up getting taken out from long distance. I don't know from where. And that's going to allow Dumanoid to push up. Janice is here. Riera spots him out, hits him in his little toesies, and will be able to secure that kill. Fenix, though, coming in for the trade, and Riera will go down, leaving all of this open now for Dumanoid to pick up. Beautiful play coming out from them, really coming down to the distraction out from Baxa over there.
Dumanoid are going to be proud with that. Of course, their base very close by, so easy loot for them. They're going to go back, continue to fortify after this, but it's getting back is going to be the question, because you can see Tree. There's still one member of them still on the ground. Whether they've realized that there is one member still on the ground is going to be the question you have to ask. But with a minute 50 before the raids will begin, you want to take advantage of the remaining loot, and Tree, well, he's going to have to find the climb coming next.
And it's not just the heli loot; they get out with a heli. There should be low grade up there for them to just get out. So that's gonna be a quick flyover to get over to their base. Ooh, it looks like one team has already started controlling. That's gonna be Pop inside of Gang's base. And that's why you gotta make sure you close off your roof here. Opening doors now. Gang's gotta be careful because Pop is looking to go deep.
Yeah, and
Oh!
there's still a minute 13 to go, and they're taking advantage of the early control. And being shot in the face is never a handy thing. Pop made the way. That roof control is going to be lovely. And with one of their members now having to respawn, it's going to be a little run to get there.
Yeah, you're seeing the new meta right that's been developing in Base Invaders since the external wall changes. People are utilizing builds instead of walls to set up their raid platforms. Ooh, another attempt to try and go deep, but Gang are ready for it. We got another 30 seconds before the fighting starts, or excuse me, before the raid starts, though. And I don't know if I actually saw any C4 strapped to the side of the gang members. I think they were just poking and prodding here, but they know that there is a way into this base from the roof. So that's going to be a point of weakness that they're going to keep an eye on. Wow. 2
Okay.
scrappies, and they've got themselves a mini. Nice little pickup for them. Pop tried to get out with the heli, but he ends up going down. So Gang's gonna be able to get that. Pop does secure at least one of the scrappies and gets out of there.
Well, the time is over. We are doing base invaders for a reason. Shall we get raiding?
Yeah, right now, one win, sitting with almost a full TC lead, 45 points over CLS AMG. And it looks like we've got our first round of boom coming in, splashing through all of these garage doors as well. Threes are going to go a little bit slower just because of the numbers here. But when you get this kind of efficiency off a rocket, that's going to be nice. Get right through that, and they're already into a loot room.
Ooh, that's gonna be handy. Extra loot, extra yummies behind that, and they're gonna take full advantage of it.
Oh,
You can, wow, wow, an elimination with me. What? Not even a minute done. That CNS is gone.
and that's no surprises. It's Cell Chain. And we know that Cell Chain is one of the best rating teams, even when it comes down to three. Their efficiency, you have to imagine they were able to spot out a weak looking base and got right on in. And you can see the weaknesses. The build wasn't even completed. And now this team's got to be careful here. Oh, man, that's a lot of garage doors. So yeah, typically don't see that here in Base Invaders, the garage doors, as our next team's gonna go down. That's FT getting picked up by CLS AMG. One win, that one TC difference now down to 2 points.
It's all going and already starting, and you can see the red around the map showing where the fights are commencing. Some of these builds, they're small. Some of them look a bit stronger. You got the hill advantage here for this build, which is, I think this is NM. I think it is. Yeah, this is NM's build, and you can see quite advantageous. Again, you got the hill advantage. I'm not familiar with builds inside, how to build quite well of the inside, but this looks pretty strong.
And threes are a little bit different. You can't do the whole 3x3 core and then have 5x5 kind of honeycombs and such. So, but they've still done a decent job of creating this hallway meta overall with plenty of doors to go through. We're not actually hearing C4 being utilized here. It's all rockets essentially. They do have the C4 strapped to their side, so if they want to go a little bit quicker, they definitely can. But they have full control. They've put the NN members on timers. They're spawning in outside bags right now, which is why you really do have to be disciplined when it comes to these smaller team sizes. You have to play your life. You need to be able to wait on your teams to come in reinforced. You can see that one person is alive inside right now. Open door, is lurking from the outside and might be caught unaware.
You also need to be wary of the spawn, of course. They're moving around this area, but NM, they have to very quickly spawn, get back into the fight, and they're coming in near to naked as well. So it's never going to help, and immediately they're going to fall. And then again, they're going to continue to destroy this base. C4's finally being deployed in areas, and they will ramp up the speed to destroy this base.
You can't lose that. You can't lose that. I was talking about having to play your life, and also having to jump on them. They were unaware. I thought they might have heard the door opening and would have been, on high alert, but no, they let that one get away from him, and now I don't even know if he's actually got loot in his bedroom to actually fight back into this one. So NN are in dire straits here, and you can see died first, completely uncontested all throughout these hallways. They are being slowed down, but this is still high efficiency coming out from died first.
Just need to keep the pressure on. Die first are being brutal. Another rocket gonna come in. That's gonna blow that door up. Still another door and a ladder going up. It's a maze for them, and you just have to be patient. Keep going. Keep fending off the respawning NM, and they will continue to batter this base. And what looked to be strong, what looked to be controlled, is slowly fading away even more. NM are just near moments to being crumbled.
Yeah, there it is. You see the weakness of the base. When you see an uncompleted base, when you see Twig on the outside, You have to be able to see it. Oh, looks like they might have been able to pick up one kill. You can see Wasis, yeah, was able to take out one of the Raiders. So that's going to be huge. Oh, Dumanoid ends up going down to Goons. And remember, Dumanoid was doing a great job of picking up a lot of the objectives. It looks like it was a base race between one win and one other squad over this base. So yeah, Dumanoid unfortunately did not finish off their base, it looks like, and they paid the price for it. Taking a look at looks like died first, trying to finish off this, and then base was ceased. He was the lone defender, still trying his best to keep his base alive for the time being. We do have another squad showing up. That's going to be CLS AMG, our current second place squad right now, looking to counter this raid.
Well, they want to take advantage of all the easy work, and yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna do. Say thank you so much. We're gonna push in and take over your work, and that's gonna be so annoying for Die First because they've done the hard work, and now CLMS AMG have just come in
Oh, ho,
and
ho,
gone.
ho,
There's
ho!
the cabinet. There's the moment, and what was supposed to be all the hard work is gonna be taken away. Fight is done, NN is out, and CLSAMG have taken over the last remaining bit, and that must kill to see that in the feed.
They were 2 doors away, 2 doors away. And again, we were talking about being fast when it comes to the raids. You need to move faster than just rocketing through every single door. Even when you got the tools, you had the C4, you could have been blowing through so much faster. We've got another base going down. That's going to be Grubbers. And that's what, our 5th TC already getting taken within the first 7 minutes of the raid phase.
Crazy speed. We sat here and said, "Oh, at 3v3s, it's gonna be a lot slower, not gonna be as intense." Nah, we're not even like an hour into the raid, and we are full on seeing about what we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams already out, plus the others that didn't get onto the board. So many have been destroyed, and yet our little woodland base that we saw, I don't think we saw on the stream, but we saw previously on the build phase, that's now under attack as well. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, looks pretty completed.
This is Pop's base, and I think it was a successful raid defense for them. They cleared out everyone here, and they'll be able to seal up. So they'll be able to get themselves some nice raid defense points, I believe, overall. And yep, that's going to be survival for them. I think we were taking a look at them very much earlier on, and we saw how isolated they were. So I think overall it was just the team recognizing, hey, we have a very isolated base here. If we raid it, we shouldn't get third partied, but the Raiders were ready for it. Now, taking a look at Free TC's base, it does seem like Cell Chain have them on the chopping blocks right now, setting up probably the raid platform all the way over here at the rocks. We do know that our teams like to kind of set up around the rock formations, use that as natural cover, especially again with the changes. To a lot of things. No, 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 no. They're just regrouping back at their base, but you saw them eyeing it up. So you have to
Hmm.
imagine that free TC might be a free TC in just a moment.
They may be neighbors, we think of neighbors being happy communities, but not in this case. It's very much war, war, and war. And the eye up is very much the presence. It's almost telling them if any of them spotted 3 members out in the ridges would go, "Hey, your base looks juicy. We want to attack." And I think it's a smart move. Wait, in that situation, you've got another base nearby as well. You would kind of want to let someone start it off, and then you third party, like CLSAMG. They third partied at the end, took advantage of the easy work. You don't want to use your resources too early. So you weigh up that kind of idea, and yep, as the building will fully crumble, that is all the work done. And that was an entertaining fight, and Die First will claim the remaining loot and possibly go back. I would at this point you got a good good position. You're 11th in the table. You're not too far off. I'd go and regroup the base, make sure your base is all right, and come back.
Yeah, they're just picking up the scraps. I mean, you have to imagine they lost a lot of boom on that counter. Over at Mate's one win are setting up right now, but it looks like the entirety of Mate are on the rooftops. They don't have the best of peaks overall on the rooftops, but at least they have their shooting floor. And yeah, you can see again having to set up that raised foundy to try and cover your beds. It's not quite enough. They should be able to get a rocket in there, but they spot out one player coming in from that power plant
Oh, they're
site. It was
distracted.
a lone BLI member. They are still ready for it. They see the build. No one's got a rocket launcher on their. There we go. Rocket launcher in the back for one. And that's all you really need to counter this. Just go ahead and get that rocket down. They're going to go ahead and C4 through now the wall. And you can see that Mate are still up. They did not finish off that kill. One win, now going up with the ladders. I don't know if he's going to be able to actually access the rooftop from here. And yeah, he spots it out. Not really going to have that opportunity.
Mate, we saw them earlier on in the game. They went objective hunting, did a very good job of objective hunting, getting massive amount of points, putting them currently 7th, but one win, of course, holding down the hard point and didn't let anybody go within sight. But I love these little cracks here. It seems like a weakness, but actually this is fantastic sight lines because now they can look down and take out one win from within their base. One of Nightmare's hits down low against Pops. Gonna be a peak. Who's got peak advantage? Pops having swing ride. It will be favor for Pops. And that one win will say thank you. Now that's that person cleared, we can slowly make our way back into attacking this building.
They had a moment there where they took out the player that pushed into the breach, where they could have gone for the rocket. They could have taken out the beds. That would have stopped the respawns at that point. But now one win have taken back the objective or the initiative in this, and will try and go straight into core with that C4. But they've got to be careful of these peaks. Never mind, it's going to be W who has to be careful of those peaks as he gets absolutely beamed. One win now in, and trying to defend from top down can be a little bit difficult, especially when you open doors to Pops getting in there. And we have open doors on the inside of the base currently.
That is not what you want to do. You've got to make sure you're closing your doors, locking them up. Come on, that's basic 101 game strategy. But the question is, where is that cabinet? And that's what they're trying to find. They are.
Why are they using those garage doors? Oh my god, guys! You've got all these other garage doors. Why would you just give them free information like that? I get it. I get it. A lot of flex still. The H-Tune doors, but I think every H-Tune door has a hole in it, right? I could be wrong.
I'm gonna take your word. I'm gonna take your word that it is, but mate, they're putting up a good fight. I tell you what, they're not going down without a tussle, and they continue to defend their point. We're gonna quickly move over to Chevy, who again came out fighting, came out swinging. This is near the power plant that we had our initial battles. Up on the hill, and there seems to be two teams here, Tree and Blue, fighting into Chevy's base. And this is a disaster of your Chevy, because now you've got a two-faced front to fight.
I mean, it's not too bad because they are built on the cliffside here. And you can see that he chose a really odd way to approach. But yeah, he's there, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get much done. It seems like he's kind of on his own. You can see that there's no one else for Tree here. So it's just a one-man mission to see what he can get done. Just being a nuisance, if anything at all. Ooh, Joker ends up going down, and that's gonna be the defense. Yeah, Tree needed to send all their forces out here. uh, yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to put yourself on timer like that for free, but they should be safe. Taking a look at Goon's base right now, though. Gang are here in force, and Goons are in outside bags right now. Lil Pick does have some stash for himself, so he will be able to get that in. He might actually just F1, but no, never mind. He's coming back on in from the outside. Gang, I don't know if they're going to be ready for this, but Goons, I mean, we know these players. Facts, Lil Pick, they're all insane players, so they're ready for this.
well, Goons will do what they can to defend once again, but it will be Gang will deny the outside rotation to get back in, and there's a few of the Gang members inside. Rockets being used Again, not going quickly, just taking their time, understanding the area, making sure they're not being surprised peeked by the goons. And gang, again, continue to push the way through. And this looks a very fortified base with too many nooks and crannies for my liking.
Yeah, no, this is an experienced team, so their build will go ahead and reflect that. And gang, they're trying to rocket through doors. That is not the efficiency you need when you're going for raids. So goons should be able to pick up the free basic defense points throughout all of this. And yeah, there's no other players here. Goons will go ahead and seal up. That is no issue whatsoever. We're seeing why teams are really favoring going for the top down here. It's so much easier to control the base when the numbers are so low. Looking at UT's base right now, we do have two defenders on the inside. One just spawned on the outside, and Winnable are looking to try and get a flank. CLS, SAMG getting surrounded on all sides. That might have been a one-for-one exchange. Never mind, English is actually still alive. UT might just be bleeding out there on the ground. There is one last player for CLS AMG, and it's all up to her to try and keep this one alive. But the 1v1 actually goes in their favor.
That's
Never
going to be
mind.
massive to be able to keep themselves just a little bit alive. But of course, Winnable have the man advantage and says thank you so much. There is one CLS AMG. I think they are down, so that's not going to be any useful position. Though they do have a player close by. That could be a revive coming in. And yeah, the
Stands up.
revive's back in. CSLAMG back in this fight once again. And back down we go. The hope and dreams disappears.
Yeah, you're just laying there. Come on, stand up, stand up. Oh, I'm up, I'm healing. But it's not over yet. Winnable still have sent in Fahed into the base right now, and this is what we're talking about when it comes to bases. I'm surprised that they're able to get something up so big here. This is like a typical base that you would see in larger group sizes, but they were able to finish it off. But they're not defending right now because we've got Wyvin on the inside. You can see this is the efficiency we're talking about. Throw down that C4, get through the doors as quickly as possible. Who was that? Well, that was a defender. UT getting in. Never mind. That's Wyvin. That was an outside bag for UT. So things look a little bit difficult, and now they are getting more players into the base right now. I'm trying to see if they've got peaks from the top. Oh, no, you
Oh.
can't give up your life for free like that.
It was a desperation move. I can see why. Run in, try and get at least one, take one out. That's the attempt that UT tried to do. But again, you can't be throwing away your lives. You're throwing away your resources every single time. And UT is looking to crumble here. I tell you what, we've actually gone for a very long time without a base being fully raided and being destroyed. So I'm waiting for that moment. Who's going to be whose base is next? And from the way it looks, I'm feeling UT with the lack of people in the base to defend it might be the next to crumble.
Thing is, UT have a chunky base, right? So these advent calendars are going to slow them down. You're not hearing as much C4 coming out from Winnable right now. So what UT really need to do is just need to slow down. You don't need to force the issue unless you know that they're getting close to TC. They should have an idea of what side the TC is on and where the booming is taking place. So if you know that your TC is safe for now, just wait for timers, wait to get all three up, and then wait for your respawns to get back up, and then go for it. But you can see right now it is full control, and there's the Jackie that we heard a little bit earlier on. That was a last-ditch effort. You can see there's only one person inside. CLS AMG, though, are coming in force, and they've cleared out 3 walls. They want to make sure that it is not going to be an easy seal for everyone. Even with the wall changes, they're making sure that it is not easy. Oh, the wide swing, one more, and
Oh,
that's going to be a
lovely.
twofer for wide, and lives up to his name, those wide peaks that take him out, and they're still controlling. That is gonna allow one player, though, to find an angle. That's gonna be Diaz, staying alive for now. Wide wants to go for the 3 for here. Here's him above, but no! Her picks up that last kill, and now Win lose out on a lot of boom.
Winnable what does not want CLS AMG to steal this again. Like, they didn't get stolen before, but I'm sure there would be news that travels around that CLS AMG likes to steal what the work has been done. Finally, an elimination after a very long time. Pop will fall, and Fanta, the Pop Master, will take the base and destroy it all. And they've got a helicopter to get out as well. The fatal body left on the floor, and there is the
Whoa.
cabinet's death.
They just drilled down. They just drilled down to get it. One win, though, ends up picking up a TC across the map, and that's going to be Mate going down. That's huge. Mate were ostensibly our eighth place team, but one win definitely needed to go ahead and take the lead here. They have almost a 60 some odd point lead over CLS AMG, who ended up just getting cleared up, or excuse me, fighting over that base with Winnable over there on the other side of the map. So we have our top three teams really contesting each other right now.
Yeah, I actually thought with this Mate base that Mate was going to fend off one win, and one win was going to just kind of run away and be like, you know what, this isn't the fight because of how hard it was. But no, they committed to it. One win eventually found the win that they were looking for, and Mate will fall. So the early attackers, the early point scorers of Mate is gone, and now we're back to Chevy. As that rocket, I think that was a little overkill, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Chevy, the beds are over a little bit to the left. You might want to correct for that, but Chevy, you can see that just their base placement. This is literally an uphill battle, and you don't want an uphill battle when your beds are exposed like this. The wall changes have really changed the meta in the defender's favor, I would say overall. You can see how vulnerable and naked all of these raid platforms have been. And Chevy, they are just gonna go ahead and heal on up, or at least repair their base for the time being. There's a rocket from Joker just to try and keep them from being able to heal up, get rid of this roof, and they are actually getting some decent work done so far. BLI respawns. New Era's here. They haven't cleared those beds on the left, but I think Mo is on top of it. Was able to spot him out. Riera will now go ahead and try go for the wide peak. New Era ends up finding a kill here, so helping out the defenders more than anything else.
Well, I tell you what, New Era is going to be massively painful because just soloing in this position out in the open, Tree is fighting for the base, but New Era for Blue is just going to take those easy points. Those little points do add up, so easy kills will come in favor. Oh, the timing's gone wrong. Oh, the walls go up just in time. New Era now going to have to feel the 1v1 fight. It's not going to work, and yeah, I'm not surprised. Back away, put that away, and run away.
I was wondering where the rest of his teammates were. Quad City working his way around the compound right now. You can see one player of Chev has actually pushed out, but he is stuck on the ultimate low ground here, trying to climb his way on up. He's made it up here. The mountain goats, maybe the goat. Never mind, not the goat, not the goat. As Mo just ends up clearing him. I like the attempt though coming out from Chevy. In these situations, you do have to be proactive, especially when you get a moment to have some initiative. And unfortunately, he ends up losing out on that duel, which he definitely should not have. Two members of Chevy are still up top as BLI are now getting some reinforcements from their base. New Eras ever. The nuisance and thorn in the side of Tree. He is going to try and get looted up. There is an AK there, and he ends up picking it up. There's a second one, too. Does end up getting a few heals here, and I believe Quad should be able to hand him off a syringe or two. Now Tree's raid, this is basically over. You can see why Chev wanted to base up here, how difficult it is. And the counters are making it that much more difficult. Quickie ends up dropping down there for that kill. And now, how do you even seal this? I mean, we saw because of the natural geography of this, they had a difficult time just putting up the compound walls in that area alone. So now they gotta get someone down to try and close up. Quickie ends up losing out on that duel up against Quad City. And throughout all of this, I think it's giving Tree time to regroup on the other side.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised Tree wants another attack at this. They will, you know, quick little loot up, and they're going to send out Moist to see what's happening. They're gonna know. They're gonna hear the gunfires going off. So why not third party? We saw what CLS AMG did in a third party situation. Tree are gonna capitalize on this. If BLI are gonna go and do the work for them, hell, take advantage. Go in, guns blazing, but BLI just slowing things down. They're not gonna, push too much for now as we go to UT. This has been a battle that's been brewing for a little while as Die First and also Winnable is around the outside. So one of the top teams again wanting to clear up this base, but we said before, this is a very well built base.
Yeah, and this is what you would typically see out of fives and up overall to be able to get this up as a three, even though it wasn't completed. There were some. Oh, no! Oh, wide was quick on the trigger finger there, and UT, their raid defense has been looking really rough overall. There was a moment where they could have gotten back some semblance of a defense when we saw the trades between Winnable and CLS AMG. But overall, Winnable were not deterred. They come back and they have control over the base once again. And there it is. Winnable now on the verge of catching up. That will put them at 164 as this C4 goes off. That's still 30 points off. They need one more TC to try and catch up to one win.
Well done, Winnable. They fought over that base for a long time. UT will get taken out. They didn't really put too much into the fight. Only 4 points on their side. Nay. As they will, fall Winnable, pushing themselves, closing that gap to one win. One win had a huge gap. They took advantage of that hard point in the early phase of the game. Now they're coming. Now that gap is closing in with CLS AMG, with Winnable hot on their heels. And you said yourself, one more raid, and this is all tied up.
Yeah, we're down to 13 squads now. We started off with 20 something, 21, 22, I think, overall. So things should slow down just a little bit. I imagine a lot of our teams are back home right now, regrouping, recrafting some boom, and getting ready for their next raid. I'm wondering exactly where one win are. Oh, it's Fanta to finally complete off this raid up against Gang. They got right on in, drilled through. What? Another drill through? This is insane. They're getting so much value off of that.
Hey, if you can drill through and claim all this, why not again? Fanta on fire, trying to demonstrate that they are the best beverage of them all.
Yeah, let's
Questionable.
go ahead.
I'm not. I'm
If we
not.
can we like go back and see how big this base actually is? Because it looks like it's just a 2x2. Okay, so there's an outer shell, but it's basically just a 2x2 core with honeycomb. So, yeah, it looks like they were able to just successfully really figure out the layout of this base. And you can see that, yeah, there really wasn't too much work to be done on this one. So, it does seem like the team constraints ended up hurting that team overall. Now over at
Oh no.
BLI's base right now, we do have
BLI, they were on the
goons
attack next
inside.
door to Chevy. They were all on their rear end, and what's happened is now another team's come in and doing the work. That's going to be goons coming in to destroy their hard work. Is there still players over there? No. Chevy, so BLI's moved away. This has now allowed Tree to fight over at Chevy. This is a double-edged sword. We've got a fight over at Chevy, fight over at BLI, and the question is, who's going to destroy first? Because if you can destroy first, you can run to the other base and start third-partying. So this is critical. You've got to find the cabinet quickly if you're Goon. If you're BLI, you've got to fend them off and push them away. And it's going to be fast and efficient. You said those C4s need to go off. That's exactly what they're doing. And my only question is Chevy. What's happening over there? Are they getting their job done at defending? And is Tree going to take advantage of this?
I mean, Chevy have multiple teams over at their base right now. One win, our current leaders, who have a 29-point lead over Winnable. And so one win know that they need to be fast. They need to be able to control. But It's going to be difficult with Tree there looking to counter. Oh my goodness, just going straight through the walls itself. They know they have to be fast on this one. Like you said, the urgency is here. BLI almost gets in to try and defend, but facts is fact. In fact, one of the best raiders we have here, and he is so on top of things, but he is slowed down at the very least. Open doors to the rooftop now, and so much of this base is exposed.
You're gonna have to take advantage of those open doors, move around, try and find that cabinet. And
He's out of room.
it's not a honeycomb setup. It very much is just 90-degree corners. So, if I am not mistaken, from my limited Rust knowledge, that's an easier base to play with and to raid. However, we move over to Chevy and that double team attack is not going to be nice, but somehow, for probably the majority of this battle, of this raid, Chevy has fended off. So give hats off to Chevy, because they're still alive and still fighting.
Yeah, someone got fed up on the outside of the base there and decided we're just gonna go ahead and try and foundy wipe this. I don't know. There were two corners, two foundies that were gone. You can see right there, exposed. Might have just been maybe a few errant C4s going down there as they were trying to maybe get doors from high angles, but you can see one win now pushing up. Two members of Tree are up here. C4 is just a race. They're just making sure they use up all their C4 at this point. A push up, but Mo is there for the trade. Unfortunately, does not pick up onto his team member yet. I think it was just desperation C4 getting to the Foundy and taking it out at this point. Mo, though, still alive, will have all the boom here, but now he needs to worry about his teammates getting back on in to help control. Back over to the BLI base, goons are all on the inside, and they have wreaked havoc on the inn, and you can see that they have full access. They're going to go ahead and be able to destroy the generators, so they won't have to worry as much about the turrets, but really haven't been seeing too many turrets being utilized in these bases so far.
Well, they're closing it out. There's not much resistance. BLI are trying their best, but of course, with a lack of armor, not gonna help them out. BLI, there it is! Finally, the goons will find the cabinet and take it out. And that's another jump, and goons will take third here. And one win's lead is slowly closing in. But if you're goons here, you know there's a massive firefight. I said this before, over at Chevy's base. You want to take advantage of it. Loot up, grab what you can. Why not take over to Chevy's base? Do it, take it, have that third party going in, and one win again also wants a third party against Tree and take advantage of that.
Like a raid defense coming out for Vanta, and yeah, they end up cleaning up died first. A lot of work though done here on the first floor. Looks like they were slowed down just a bit as they got to a bedroom, but that's going to be some nice, well-needed defense points for Fanta, who are currently sitting in fifth place, 120. They're not out of it. Two TCs will catch them up to one win, and over at died first, well, they had to get back to their base because it looks like one Rust were here, and it's only one member, so I think he was just trying to go for a miracle play here. Does get some decent headway out there on the first floor.
Hey, you know, anything can happen. You could send one person in and do all this work, and somehow they're just mechanically gifted and just take everyone out. But I do believe the reinforcements are coming in. One Rust is going to start to apply more pressure on to die first. And the pressure has really ramped up. They have made their way inside. It's just trying to find where that cabinet is, of course. And the layout, like I said, I'm learning every second of doing, is looking quite interesting. But there is Fanta. They're nicely perked in fifth, and they want again third party this situation and take advantage of the work that one Rust has done, and say thank you to it so much.
Yeah, they're coming straight in from that other raid that they were able to complete out. As you can see, trying to drill through. Ooh, they've got rooftop control. Unfortunately, though, Paulo has to deal with this turret. He can actually just jump up and throw C4 down and not even have to risk it. Oh, he already had a C4 on it. Okay, there we go. All right, so now that's full rooftop control. He can clear out these bed pods. You can see he's getting straight to that right now. And with this kind of control, it might be difficult for Fanta. Fanta, though, will go ahead and set up in that rock formation So they have to at least get their bases covered at this point, but it's full rooftop control now. We'll see if anyone peeks an eye over at that Fantas side, but really, there's no indication that you have a counter coming from here. So there is a moment where 1W, you get caught off guard. You can see that Fanta are ready to come in. Now, the defenders for Died First are starting to respawn back inside their base right now. They need to get kitted. You can see UW was able to sneak his way on in.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to pull off a miracle here because when you have the players above, one of us all above, they're gonna take advantage, die first, trying to get that lower angle, and it's not gonna work. It's not favorable being this low down. And yeah, I'm not surprised. Hide in a corner, wait for them to peek into you and take advantage. Generator looking to be destroyed as well. So any other turrets, we saw there was one. That's going to be destroyed. And hopefully, maybe exposing a cabinet. Not just yet, but they're drilling. And they have not found anything just yet.
That was an odd place to drill from when you had access to that floor level. They could have saved 4C4 at the very least and maybe exposed another level. But hey, sometimes in the heat of battle, you don't really think everything through. They're gonna go try and work their way through this hallway for now, but this is definitely where you do not want to be taking your time. You want to just start C4ing, and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try and expose another level here, play off of that, and the thing is, you gotta be worried. You hear extra boom going off, you know that's not you. So at this point for one Rust, end up taking out the roof. No, there's two members here ready. That's the trade, and Mango is gonna get picked up by Hollow.
One Rust now feeling the pressure of Fanta, who have come in again. A third-party scenario would be the dream scenario, and you've got to be patient. You've got to be forceful if you're Fanta. You've got to be patient when you're One Rust because you've still got to explore the base. You've got the best control, so you have to take advantage. Now, have they found? Whoever finds it first is going to be the most critical situation. But I feel Fanta might steal this off. I've got that gut feeling they're gonna steal this.
Yeah, Fanto were able to quickly respawn, get back on in. That's why the raid platform setting that up was so crucial. It looks like they did end up taking out a defender overall. And maybe another one. We do have someone spawning in from the outside, along with one Rust member spawning in from the outside. Fanta still have to be careful on their approach. One Rust are well aware of the vulnerabilities here on the roof and which angles they need to peek. And there it is. Bon Aqua gets spotted out, taken out. And I mean, dipping back into that wall a second time. I don't know if that was going to work for you, but at least they made the attempt. You do have, looks like a player on the ground floor. That's, yeah, Chevy going down.
Oh,
Tree finally ends up picking that one up. And I believe that was one win that were over there at that base. Overall, though, it does seem like CLS AMG were looking to counter as well. So unfortunate for them. That's going to be time wasted over at the One Rust base, though. Winnable are here. They've got the rooftop. They've taken out a turret, and so it's going to be full control for them now, gaining access to the shooting floor.
yeah, and I don't even know if One Rust have realized that their base is under attack. There's no one nearby. Oh, there's one member, Mango, hiding in the room. So that's the information of we need to stop our attack, which is going to allow Fanta on the other side of is it NJ to go and take the full base around there, while one Rust have to come back. They've got to come back. They can't spawn short because they don't want Winnable to take this out, and in doing so, One Rust are here and they completely wipe, and One Rust saves their own base.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That entire time you saw Mango lurking, he played his life. He was waiting for his teammates to get back on in, respawn, and full peek out as three. They'll have timers too. That's how you do it. That's how you defend. You don't just panic. You don't just go ahead and throw your life away for free. That is exactly how you do it. So beautiful play coming out from them, but that does also mean that allows the defenders here at Died First Base to get back onto their roof. Very unfortunate for One Rust. For One Rust, for that to happen to them, for them to have to go back and defend. But hey, you can't raid if your TC's gone. So they had to make that their priority. And especially with the work that was actually done on their base, the top down was insane. They got so deep into core. And yeah, I think it might have just been a matter of seconds before their TC got taken. But now back over at the One Rust base, they're gonna have to seal up. Looks like Winnable are back though. So it's not over quite yet. The raid defense is not over for One Rust. Winnable are now trying to take the first floor of their base.
Well, on Rust, they had a small break. They had a little, sip of the tea, sip of the coffee, whatever they decide to drink. And now with Winnable right there, they're gonna have to put up their defensive. But I think Winnable, I think they're retreating here, maybe to restock. Yeah, they're gonna restock, reloot, try and figure out a new plan because this One Rust base and the defense that One Rust is producing isn't as easy as they thought it was going to be, and Winnable are going to be questioning this attack. One Rust sitting 8th, Winnable sitting 2nd. So do you want to overexceed as a second place position, or do you want to take those easier fights and try and go for someone else?
Back over at the died first base, Fanta were able to take back control now over the rooftop because of the notable absence of One Rust. Died first, have not been able to fully seal quite yet, but there's a defender finding one kill. Fanta will try and trade back, peeking over up top. Fanta end up losing out on one more. Black, though, chasing down one player. That's going to be a defender going down, but we have one more life on the rooftop for now. Black might have gotten spotted out. Didn't have his gun out in time, but there it is. That's going to be the defense now coming in for died first. But the problem is, how do you seal? So much of your base, so many of your doors are gone. Where do you even begin sealing here? Will they have enough time? Doesn't look like it quite yet. Never mind. That's a one-for-one exchange. And so now I think Fanta might be on the back foot overall. They have to be out of timers, and now it's going to come down to Black holding it down, trying to control on his own. We do have the rocket spam, and so they're going to try and work their way in from the side. We have not seen this quite yet in terms of the raid phase here for the 3v3s. Teams have been able to just basically control and then raid from top down. That does buy time for One Rust to try and find an angle here. You can see Hollow will find a moment to push out into the rocks.
Think this could be the flank of the day. Just play it safe, buddy. Play it slow. Winnable are focused and locked in, but have they been spotted? No, he's still coming around from the side, and he just needs some trigger discipline here. Get as much information. No, too much trigger discipline. Winnable will catch him out, and Winnable will continue to bombard with rockets. It was an attempt. It was a move, but it just didn't work. And the natural cover that Winnable are sitting in is fantastic. They can sit there all they want. They can keep bombarding with the rockets, keep applying that pressure, and keep One Rust using all of their utility.
Yeah, the issue is here the pummel and threes are extremely slow. Even if you've got everyone rocketing, you can see now that they're putting their focus onto sealing instead. They never finished off sealing. They never finished off repairing from that first raid that they ended up defending. And you know what? I wholly agree with it. We know that at least one of the players are on timer. They need to wait that one out. Back over at the died first base, it looks like Fanta just were able to be headstrong and get back on in, dive first. Feel like had the tempo in this defense and had a real chance of being able to possibly seal up and defend. But for now, they're spawning on outside bags. They're trying to get back in. They do have two members, I think, on the defense on the inside. But a lot of this space has already been opened up. So now, died first. They lose the initiative, and they're basically starting at square one. Never mind, square zero. They are out. Fanta were able to finish the job of One Rust and get this TC. That's going to go ahead and put them up in second place now. One win, only with a 21-point lead over them.
30 minutes of attack, I believe that was 30 minutes, and that was it was a lot of people. It had one win, I'm sorry, One Rust going at them. You had Fanta constantly putting pressure on them, and Fanta did not give in. And finally, they will be rewarded. And Fanta merely only 21 points behind a one win. And one win hasn't been doing much necessarily in terms of attacking. They've been chilling
Ooh.
as someone is flying their way across. That's going to be Goons. Where are they looking to go is the question. I think they're getting a couple of more resources before another attack. Oh, they're going for the one Rust building.
Possibly they got double heli, so they can take instantly that rooftop. We'll see if one Rust can get a player up there, but no, it looks like it's going to be a free fly pass by them. But Winnable are still out in force. You can see they have taken some decent amount of damage there. So maybe someone was able to push out from one Rust. You can see, yeah, extremely damaged. That's going to buy some time for one Rust to possibly regroup. Goons are just keeping an eye on this one right now. They're like, nah, not this base. So they'll fly off and try and find another one. There are 9 teams left here in Base Invaders. Ash was able to push out, and it looks like possibly a raid defense coming in. One more player of Winnable still out here, as now another threat looms on that horizon. It's going to be CLS AMG once again utilizing this rock formation to set up as their forward operating base. Hollow gets caught out. And now one Russ, who had the option to try and push out, to try and get rid of Winnable, they are now stuck back in their base.
One Rust are probably crying when they see the name tags pop up because they know these two teams that are pushing them are strong. They're gonna be putting the pressure onto them. But I tell you what, that's quite interesting. Fanta's base is under attack. They did the work, they got the destruction, and now they're under attack. So all the hard work, all the pressure, and finally Fanta's getting a taste of their own medicine. It's the Goons that have gone over. So they did their reconnaissance on one Rust, like, nah, let's go to Fanta. Seems quieter, seems more achievable. And Fanta are going to have to lock down one Rust. Oh, that
Oh,
is so disappointing as he waited patiently.
yeah. So Fanta feel like they've got the raid defense, but we saw, of course, Goons on the outside. There it is. Goons now setting up. They're going to have multiple points of entry, it looks like. C4 going down onto that wall. Fanta, no, it is not over quite yet, but Bon Aqua takes out one of the raiders as Gellin will try and find an angle. That is going to be a one-for-one exchange, putting him on timer. Monchaton up top right now, trying to get that angle peak onto Gellin, but he's got to be careful going for the wide peak because there is one more player, I believe, off in the distance here. You can see now Chaton and Black trying to wait it out just a bit. Fax had to set down that combat wall for himself as Lil Pick is trying to get back into the action. Might be naked, doesn't even have heals. And I think this raid is already over. Fanta are ready for this second defense.
Yeah, it looks strong. It looks well fortified. So I don't think anyone's really going to be doing much. But here's a new team that is on the screen at Cellchain, however you pronounce that beautiful name. Selchen, as they are going to be slightly attacked, but they're not under pressure. They're facing off Free Tech, who, to be honest, both of these teams are not even within the top 10.
There's still time though. 42 minutes left here in the raid phase, so I think there's still a chance for any of our teams, especially because there's a 100-point difference, and honestly, if one would get taken out, we've seen it in the past. If Fanta get taken out, what the hell is this setup? Okay, so we're seeing the raised Foundy set up, and they're utilizing lockers as extra coverage. Okay. So, I mean, we were always asking for an evolving meta here in Base Invaders. A rocket to the face lover. How did he thread the needle through the trees, through the lockers, to get a direct hit onto him? Here's the second one. And that's going to put the fear of God into free DC as he connects, brings him down to 22 HP. And I think he might have actually, no, he didn't clear out the bed, but it's getting closer. He is zeroing in on them. These mortar shot kills coming in. You can see that one's a little bit short, but Lover is deadly with these rockets.
Yeah, I am loving what he's doing, just threading the needle, and yeah, it's brilliant cover, but the locker meta maybe not as strong as you first thought, as the rocket comes in again, just trying to create an opening to deny the push. That's all they need to do, and Free Tech is probably shaking at their feet as they're unable to get close, let alone do any damage to Cell Chain's base.
I mean, they're doing the right things. They're trying to push out. The pummel is going to be slow. You know that, yeah, 3 players with rockets just not doing enough, and they haven't even cleared that roof. So, yeah, free TC backing away. They're going to go ahead and lick their wounds on this one. Good attempt. Good attempt at the very least, but I don't know if you can actually do this. We all know how hard it is to raid when it comes down to basically online raids, right? 3v3, it's always going to be defender saver. You kind of want um, another team to raid from the other side if you don't have top control. But yeah, here's now one Russ pushing out winnable. They have 2 people out on the ground right now. It looks like one Russ are going to be able to get this defense, but now they have to be worried about CLS AMG. Hey, we're seeing more lockers coming out. So it seems like a lot of our teams now quick on the pickup here. Winnable with the flank. That's going to be English. He's going to pick up 2. Unfortunately, though, that means, you know, his raid platform on his side is gone. 1 win. Wyvern. They do have a gun in hand at the very least, but both players now trying to heal up. Her has gone back on into this game. So now it's going to be a 1v2 for CLS AMG to try and keep this raid alive. Oh, cheeky little peek there. And English is now down to 17 HP, but it does look like the rooftop defenders might have been able to take him out.
You just throwing a shoulder. English just needs to throw a shoulder, get that information, know where they're fighting, and that's all he's trying to do. And in doing so, I'm gonna slightly reposition. He's now got a little gap as well. So it's gonna be the push coming in against her. He's gonna quickly hold back again, finding that information. Rush up again. Gun's got to be ready. Her falls, and now he's by the beds and says thank you so much. He's got to quickly destroy these beds as fast as possible to claim this advanced position. Rockets go in. Loot now destroyed. Beds not destroyed just yet. But at least now, if they do spawn, he is prepped. He is ready. And look at the distance. CLS AMG really far away. Unable to do anything. And English says thank you very much for this position.
Yeah, Wyvern realizes it's over there, so he's going to go ahead and give that one up. For one Russ, though, it's going to be a successful raid defense, and it's been a pretty long one for them overall, so they might be close to full raid defense points, as we do hear some more boom off into the distance. It's going to be... Who faces this that's getting raided right now? It is Cell Chain. Once again, free TC going for a second pass at this. Oh my god.
Done.
Is that Lover
Dunzo.
once again? Was that Lover once more with the PvP rockets just being absolutely deadly? Let's see. Yep, it's Lover.
Yep.
I don't know how he's hitting these rockets from up here. Oh boy, we've got another threat coming in. It's going to be 1 win. Our current lobby leaders, but not by much. That's a down by 8 points overall. With 37 minutes left to go, they need this TC just to have a comfortable lead because Fnatic can catch up easily off of PvP points alone.
They could easily do it, and to be honest, if I'm 1 win, I would much rather take this very quiet, allow Free Tech to do all the damage, and then for them just to be right up their base. So this is working out for them. They just need to be patient, don't fire any bullets just yet, allow Free Tech to do all the work. Free Tech, though, have struggled to push up. There's a lot of open space in this area, and I see why that Cell Chain have decided to position themselves here. It's so open. You've got this nice tree line that does fend them off from any rockets, makes that a little bit harder, but there is 1 win right onto their base, and I don't think they've realized that someone is there as a rogue. Who is that? That is a rogue Cell Chain. Just trying to, you know, do the flank work, do God's work. as one win. Again, look at this setup. They're building right in front of them. They've not even realized that they're even there. All like mere meters away. Again, they just have to stay quiet and they can push into this building and start to cause havoc within.
Yeah. Locker meta in full effect. One win now up on to that side. Wonder if Lover can hear the C4. Yeah, he hears it now, and he has to respond in kind. He's got to be careful here, going for those peaks at this point. He's got to remain elusive and stay alive. We got the compound gone as the rocket out from Lover. His first connect almost on top of the bed. Again, the accuracy is
Nothing.
insane, but they are laddering up right now. They're trying to expose that shooting floor just a bit here. We'll see how much progress they can make. Oh, where was that? That's going to be Beaver God, I believe. No. Someone else from the
Third party.
outside. Cell Chain are not in their base right now. Someone needs to spawn up. R2 excuse me, Lover on the outside is going to try and find an angle, but he's got to be careful. We do have a few other teams now showing up to this base.
Well, not surprised. So much battling has been going around here. Cell Chain still ranked 8th in this tournament. And I tell you what, you might as well take advantage of, well, you got to basically use some surprise strategy. I think Love are trying to sneak around to one win. They knew they were spawning from the back of their base. And then you've got the other side of the base. You still have Free Tech. Free Tech, I don't think, realized just yet that the base is being attacked. I don't know if they can hear the explosions, but if they can, you've got to start pushing. Got to start taking advantage of this already damaged base.
Right now, free TC. I think they're just going to basically reset up their raid platform. They need to get beds down. I'm pretty sure. Oh,
Hello?
what? A low win? You didn't? Okay, well, that's a free door close at the very least. Let them C4 there, but yeah, still. It looks like it's going to be full control right now for one win. And I think, yeah, Free TC are resetting up and actually looking to counter from the other side. You got one person going for a wide swing on the left-hand side while Nicer's on the inside right now. As Self-Chain's base, it has been largely exposed. They need to play their lives at this point. They've got to be careful. They gave a few free lives away. So right now, regroup, make sure your roof doesn't get taken because they can ladder up to it. And you can see that's what they're doing. Beaver God's up top. You got Beeve on the inside as well. They just need to get Lover back on in to be a full three-man for this defense. But who do they focus on? Do they try and take out free TC? Who do they deal with as we've got another raid going on? One win, have to go back to their base as Tree are on
Oh,
top of it. So that's gonna give Cell Chain a chance actually at a full 3v3. Wow, so much C4, so much boom going down. The rooftop beds are gone as Tree now gonna try and hold it down. Mango pops out. What is going on? It looks like Tree were able to full wipe them, and so now they'll have a few moments of respite to actually go at their leisure to try and take this base.
they are taking advantage of the current leaders, and this would be disastrous if one win falls here because there's still 32 minutes to go. And that 32 minutes could be the make or break for the win. And you can see all the loot has been destroyed on the roof, and they continue to drill down the stack of C4s. It's not going to give them much information, that drill, but they continue to press on. And with rooftop control, I'm not surprised they're going to be having
What?
They found it! Our leaders are out and Tree jumps the ladder. Fanta now in the lead, and one win are gonna be slapping the desk, slamming the desk, and saying, how did we lose this?
They did everything right on that defense. They were waiting for all three. They all pushed out as a three-man. Is just so unfortunate. Oh my goodness. One win are out, and now it's basically anyone's game. I think we're down to our final 8 teams here. Yeah. Free TC now just making their way onto the leaderboard there, but That is absolutely insane, and you can see why. You need to be able to play your life here in your threes. That was everyone on timer. That was the free 2 minutes, 2, 3 minutes of timer there, for them to be able to just drill through, and that was just I mean, our teams have been absolutely scary with how accurate they are with these drills so far. Back over at the cell chain base, though, they have not been able to finish off this raid defense quite yet because free TC have shown up. Luckily for Cell Chain, though, their defense have been solid. Their rooftop control has been amazing. No one's been able to get up there overall. You can see Beta is just lurking on his own as Cell Chain are taking a stock of their base. Hey, where do we start defending? Where do we start repairing overall? And it looks like one Rust making moves over here at the CLSAMG base. And you know what? That's one of our top scorers right now, 145. That's going to be CLSAMG in fifth place. And so if one Rust get rid of them, that's another threat. And that also puts them within range of Fanta.
Yeah, CLSAMG, remember, was the third-party kings. They like to get and right in their faces and third-party any base that was being attacked. So a bit of revenge now coming in as their base is being attacked by one Rust. And one Rust has had the highs, they've had the lows, they've been attacked, they've had to defend, they're having a day, one Rust. They are going all out, and I'm surprised they're not higher up on this leaderboard as more gunfights will come out. And again, one Rust, we winning those, and CLSAMG looking to be on the back foot here, trying to scramble armor, trying to scramble weapons. I'm really thinking this is looking to be a struggle from CLSAMG and not a confident defense.
Well, right now, I think they're just working on getting their timers up. You can see, I believe, Wyvern and her are all spawned in. They're waiting for their third, and they're not under too much pressure. I mean, they're rocking their way through a compound wall right now. So, yeah, you have to imagine that they're a little bit low on the C4 side for Mango, and especially if you lose your boom like that. Nice little peek over that large furnace. Wyvern, we'll see if he gets spotted out through this hole. I think he might have heard him on the outside. He is quick and wary of that angle, drops down just in time not to get spotted. And that should be the raid defense for CLS AMG. Do have Mango and Hollow spawning in from the outside, but we've got 4 raids taking place right now. And with 8 teams left, that just means it's 1v1, 3v3 essentially here as goons are setting up for this raid. I don't see where their base or their platform is currently, but they should set that up and kind of leapfrog their way forward up on this winnable base. Yeah, there we go. The beds are in place. Really don't have to worry about rockets. There might be a slight angle, but Lil Pick's
I
gonna
think
go
there's an
ahead
angle.
and shoot out that first volley. Actually has a little bit of access to try and take out that shooting floor, which would be huge if he just splashes with the shooting floor and make sure they don't have access to that. It's only going to be roof peaks for them. So yeah, I like this approach coming out from them.
Well, that roof looking pretty well fortified, and at the moment, goons at the early stages of the attack, and in doing so, this is a very hard hill to play with because, yes, they've got natural cover, and this is going to massively favor them as they do actually move their beds to a more favorable position. I was going to say, that previous position goons had their beds in, I was not feeling comfortable. I knew a rocket was going to land there. However, now it's looking a lot more comfortable, a lot more covered. Tree line is going to be nice, giving a little
Ooh.
bit of cover. And you can see Winnable have come from the side, and it's going to work out well for a brief second, and then they will fall. So Winnable trying to deny the initial push and cut it short. It's just not working at the moment.
Importantly, I think he actually got a kill onto one of the goon members who had just spawned in on that bed. So yeah, timers are important here. Winnables should be keeping track of that for now. It's just Fax and Gellin who need to be now worried about a push out from English. You can see he's going to try his second go, I believe, pushing out here on the left hand side. And we do have some quick repairs going down. It might be actually some upgrades,
What?
possibly English wins out on the 1v1 duel on the outside and winnable. Again, this is what you need to do on the raid defense. You spot out the threat. And as long as you're not holed up in your base and you have the moment, you have the opportunity to push out like this, you take it and you try to put pressure onto the Raiders.
I don't know how English won that fight. Like, that took a few seconds to process that you're being shot at and then flicks right onto the head. And I genuinely don't know, but English is going to be a very, very difficult player to fight with as he continues to push himself further and further up and continues to be the thorn in the goon's rear end. And you can also see Wide also playing quite wide, and I feel this is going to be the end of the goon's attack. No, English will fall. Wide still alive. I don't think they've spotted his very wide approach. Wall goes up. A little bit of safety net for the goons, and it's gonna be patient. You've just got to stay just a little bit longer. Another peek in. Wide will eventually fall. And the winnables, again, they're still trying to cut this out before the attack really comes. And it's working well. Again, English coming to push from the other side once again. And English are going to decide, let's get a little bit more loot before I push that again.
Yeah, he spawned in from an outside bag. No point in putting your bed on timer if you've got the outside bags there. So they were prepared. I like that they do have these beds down. Oh, got an ominous scrappy out on the side. We'll see though if they want to try and come and counter this one. But I don't think at this point you go for the counter. There are so many bases here, and we will have some free raids to go through. For winnable though, they have been pretty immaculate so far on defense, and just unfortunate that they weren't able to win out on a few of their duels. Nice little jump out here from Wide. Okay, they might be a little bit low in terms of resources overall if you're using yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that in PvP. Um I've seen refrigerators being used. I've I've never seen that used in PvP. But sometimes you just have to expect the unexpected. As you can see, he's continuing to use them. Oh, what is
Hey,
going on?
whatever you've got to use. If you've got a bit of concrete, screw it, use it. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And you can see that if when you're in the dire situation, you've got to take advantage of the resources you do have, and Winnable is still gonna fend off quite nicely. And I do like I said, I point this out time and time again. I do like how they're pushing out. They're not afraid of those rockets coming in because they're attacking early. They're attacking fast onto. So it's more a defense for the goons rather than a defense for the Winnables because they're in this position. They want this attack, but they aren't doing any good damage onto this base.
It's a little unfortunate that they decided to splash in English, splash in where there were basically lower half walls. So the splash doesn't get that much value out of them. You can see Winnable feel like they've got all the initiative here. English picks off too. It's all up to Lil Pick now. And that's the nice thing. It's so easy to keep track of numbers in these fights. Here's the push out. Oh, does he win? That's going to be the three for English now. Fax and Gellin spawning in. We'll see if they can get looted up in time, but English is right on top of them. Clears out one more. It's all up to Fax. They are all on timer. He's trying to keep his head low, and he ends up finding the
Oh,
right timing to go for the peak, and he's the one keeping this alive for right now. But they are on timer. Winnable know that they can push out. What is going on over here? Oh, he's been bleeding out. He wants to stand. And yeah, I get it. I get it. And he does. What is going on? So many people have been standing up today.
well, if you can, you can, and you got to take advantage. But the thing is, I don't think they realize that Wide is all the way back here. So if I was in this position, I would allow Goons to continue their attack onto the base. Allow Wide to play this really long Wide game, destroy the beds, and then come back to that 1v1. That's the strategy I would deploy in this situation. Is it long? Is it tedious? Yes. But right now, Goons aren't even in a good position to attack. So it makes sense to take your time, gather that information, and then slowly push up. And you can see that Wide is slowly doing that. got the information. He knows where two is. The trigger discipline. No, don't shoot too early. He will find one. But now that strategy goes out of play because he's now got to be careful of the goon of Ginge coming down from the lower side of the mountain, and more problems for Wide. But this could be a ploy to allow English to come back on the other side once again, as it's gonna be a two angled fight. English on top, done a complete Y. Is there hope to destroy the beds? He's got to be quick on it. Kills them off. Now he's not going to take advantage of the bed, but they do have mass control over the spawns.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. This is just over. So goons, that was their final attempt at trying to defend this. But yeah, that was great patience coming out, like you mentioned, of wide. Doesn't look like they want to clear out the beds quite yet. The head's all the way out so far. I don't know what he's actually going over towards. When the action is over at his base and they haven't cleared the beds quite yet. Ooh, it's the CLSMA AMG base right now that's getting raided. One wrestler well inside currently. As you can see, Cellchain are still defending up against Free TC. And unfortunately, it looks like Free TC might have actually gotten rooftop control on them. Oh, nice little pickup there from Ash. That's going to allow him to maintain control inside of the base currently. We'll see what the defenders can do, but man, a lot of the hallways have been cleared over at the cell chain base. No! Tree ends up taking them out! What? What?
That is
Did they snipe it with the
crazy.
rocket? Where I'm looking for the bag. Where's the bag? What? Oh
That is
my
crazy.
goodness.
Absolutely crazy. And the fact that was Tree. Tree hadn't even touched this entire base for a very long time. So the third party once again comes in, and Cell Chain couldn't build up the defenses quick enough. That building had been battered on all sides. So I'm not surprised they eventually fall. But in doing so, hats off. That was about 20 minutes of defense that they fended off. And it feels like an eternity when you are fending it off. So easy loot. One Rust who are inside the base is, well, or they're inside CLM AMG's base, is going to try and take out CLM AMG, take out the third partiers, and CLM AMG, I think we had them like 10 minutes ago with a little threat. They fended it off, but now One Rush really deep inside the space.
Really unfortunate for Cellchan there. I think the raid defense
Phantom.
points and a TC might have been enough to really propel them forward. I don't know if 20 minutes would have been enough for them to find another base to go after. But yeah, it was such a solid defense. I have no idea what happened there. If it was just a rocket snipe coming out from TC. I mean, you can't expect a rocket snipe to really work in threes, but hey, Free TC, they had the tenacity. We have a number of teams actually now showing up. It's going to be Tree making their way on over to CLS AMG. You can see one rest set up behind the rock formation there. I think you pointed out much earlier on that building this close to the rock formation can definitely work against you. Winnable though, coming in from behind. This is what Fahed was looking for. He does end up countering and I think cleared out all the beds, pushing forward now. Fanta's got to be careful. One rust as well, because this might be their final lives. Tree coming in from another angle. It looks like moth to a flame, all converging on this CLS AMG base.
I tell you what, this is a massive, massive fight. Free Tech not too far away from this battle. Tree wanting a fight here. Winnable here. You've got One Rust here. Fanta here. So there's 5 teams fighting for CLS AMG. And I tell you what, that is the majority of the lobby. Only CLS AMG. Well, the only one who's not here is Goons. So Goons are probably doing damage elsewhere. Everyone else in the server is right here. We generally don't know where the Goons are and what they're planning because they are nowhere. They are nowhere to be seen. They're all in. Oh no, they're at their base. They're at the
Yeah,
base, letting everything happen. But you
they're
can think
probably
about the advantage
crafting.
of those
They're
Goons.
probably
You
crafting
can take
boom at this
advantage.
point. So they'll show up at a base eventually. That does mean, yeah, a lot of these bases are kind of free for them to try and approach. I mean, I believe it was goons that we saw flying around in
It
double
was.
minis.
It was.
So they'll probably take that same approach, and these teams have to be careful. Even though everyone's kind of racing for this last TC, it leaves your base vulnerable. We've seen how strong the top-down raids have been, and if they end up getting enough C4, if they can scrap up enough boom, they can make short work of a base. So you've got to be careful in this approach. Tree now trying to set up, and there's no pretext here. We are coming for this space right now. They don't have the raised foundies, unfortunately. So their raid platform's a little bit vulnerable, but it looks like, hey, we saw a snipe happen before. We're gonna try another snipe.
Makes sense. If it worked once, try it again, and do it indeed winnable. Also inside that base, they need to be careful of the flying rockets from Tree. Fanta coming down from the side of the hill. They're wanting a piece of this action. They said 5 teams, well, technically 6 teams in one place, and CLS AMG, I feel sorry for them because this is a lot of work to fend off 5 other teams.
Yeah, this is an important TC as well because Winnable, Fanta, Tree, they're all separated between the top three right now. It's a 15-point game. This could be just a race through PvP alone to see who ends up taking the win. And Winnable looks like they needed some much valuable loot, and along with, of course, these crates. So that'll be huge for them. Where are they right now? 228. Yeah, okay. So instead of going for the PvP, they're just going to go for objectives across the map.
Hey, that's the points game. That's all you need to do. You need to extend that advantage. You said it was 15 points. That's exactly the work they did. So that adds a less pressure onto CLS AMG. So that makes it easier. They can they can start to try and rebuild when they can, and the explosions will not work. CLS AMG continue to defend well, and the pressure keeps mounting on them. It's an onslaught.
Yeah. Free TC haven't shown up in force quite yet. It looks like maybe they're working on angling for a counter. You can see that Tree are playing this one very safe all the way in the back right now. We do have some rockets still coming in from the side at this point. So CLS AMG, they are not out of the fire quite yet. Riera is the closest one from Tree side here as he's really taking in the loot. He does have a rocket launcher on his back, and they can continue to try and pummel from the side here. And at this point, if you're CLS AMG, I mean, how do you even defend this? You're getting attacked from 3 separate angles at this point. Fanta coming in there. You can see one Rust are eyeing this one up as well. So right now, it's just about trying your best to survive. 13 minutes. Do you have faith in your base to withstand a pummel from a 3-man on one angle?
I think that's the only thing they can do, is just allow the pummeling from outside, and they focus for anyone who gets too close. And that is the simplest way they've got to play here, because they can't fight 4 other teams with gunfire. So allow the pummel, allow the base to withstand, occasionally drop inside, do some rebuild within, and then just continue stopping people like Free Tech coming in and trying to do damage within. That's all they can think of right now. And that's what I would do in that situation.
Gonna be slow goings here on this side. It seems like there's a decent amount of armor actually on this corner, so they might have spotted out where the TC might be. No, 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 never mind. It might have just
Equally.
been some emergency repairs and upgrades to get up to armored, just for the corners at the very least. Right now, though, CLS AMG, they do have all 3 members alive. So the defense, I mean, you put one person per side. I guess what is going on, Fensa, going in basically naked here. So this is going to be a last-ditch effort for them. They are currently in 2nd place right now with 14 points off. Winnable are picking up more as well as the crates are unlocked, or excuse me, are extinguishing over at Bradley. And the thing to note about that is the launch site is basically on the other side of the map, so no one's aware that they can maybe go in for the counter. But they also took it at a really good spot over at the booth, so it's pretty hard to counter over there. You got a lot of coverage to work off of. The pummel, though, is starting to make work now. You're still high ball getting exposed here. So they'll be able to continue to work. CLS AMG being basically stretched thin in their defense. It's just so hard when you have multiple teams focusing
Mm.
your base, but they're still doing work. You can see Wyvern with a peek down ends up taking out what, two members of Fanta on that side, but that allows Tree on this angle to continue to pummel.
Well, they've been going for 4 minutes of pure pummel attacks, and that's still a good run for 4 minutes. And if they can somehow survive 11 minutes, which is what we have remaining in the raid, then there might be some hope. But if you're winnable, and I just want to note this, if you're winnable, we know that elsewhere on this map, you could start to do another raid attack somewhere else and just take advantage of the free opportunity. And I feel the teams don't recognize that they need to start counting how many people are here. 4 teams are here. You don't know where the goons are. You don't know where winnable are. I would be worried and question, is my base under attack? At the moment, they're not. You would start to ask those questions.
Well, the indicator here for me is that CLS AMG are putting a lot of focus on their defense on this side. Um, they've stopped Fanta from pushing in from Breach from that side, so I don't think they're terribly worried about the pummel here. I think their TC might actually be on the opposing end. But we do have a bounty wipe coming in. Ash noticing that, hey, we have only got 10 minutes left. We really don't have time to try and work through these doors. The bounty wipe might be the way to go. And that would be huge for one Rust. That would put them basically within one TC's reach of winnable. And they kind of have to hope that someone goes after Winnable's base at that point. But yeah, it's just a race for this TC right now. Winnable are showing up though. They are on top of, I think, one Rust's raid platform here. So one Rust are getting slowed down just a little bit. You can see Mango fresh spawn off of, I think, just a bag on the outside. So Winnable know that all they really need to do is pick up those 3 points. PvP, that can keep them in the lead.
That's all they need. All they need indeed is the bombardment has quietened down. So Tree, have they opened up enough and kind of said to themselves, hey, we either one, we've ran out of rockets, or two, this strategy's not working. But look at Winnable. Oh, a Winnable about to go for either a helicopter landing on top or just terribly crash their helicopter and oh no, they're coming back into the game. I was gonna say that's not very good flying, and even I can fly a little better than that.
That's nice. They ended up taking out one Rust's raid platform. And you know what? They're just showing up for PvP. I don't think they really have much in the way for boom at this point. I don't see rockets on their backs. They might pick up some here from the boxes. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and C4 that one off. So yeah, I guess they're just gonna leave it all up to fate here. And just go for the PvP kills to possibly stay in the lead. Fanta and Tree are the two within striking distance. If either of them pick up the TC, they're the ones that end up taking the win. Nice little flank here, though. Lurk play coming out now. He spots two. The wall
Oh.
goes down just in time. Wide will be able to stay up and heal. And now English will go ahead and take this time to push up. And that's the 2v1. That's going to be the win out as Winnable, unfortunately, spawning on outside bags here. You can see Fahad all the way back here, not able to back them up. As Fanta now coming in from behind. That's going to be Bon Aqua coming in from that mountaintop.
Yeah, and Fanta want to take advantage of this. They're not too far away, so they must have some information to say, hey, the winnable are here. Let's take them out. Let's make them cry. And
Oh,
that's exactly what they need to do. Is tell you what, goons have come alive. Hello, goons. You're back in the game. They're attacking Fanta's base, so the possibility of winnable Fanta attacking winnable, that's not going to happen. Instead, they're going to have to go on the back foot and defend. Goons, they're inside the walls. They're not inside the main base yet.
yeah, with 7 minutes left to go, this is going to be difficult to say the least, especially now with the defenders getting online and are prepared for this. Low pick, though, still playing off the compound now. Knows that a defender is here, but he's just trying his best to play his life as Gellin works his way on into that compound, takes out the lone defender there. And now Goons might have a few minutes, excuse me, to work on this base. I think Fanta are just hoping that their base survives. They'll only have the one defender, Black respawning back up top, and they'll try to continue their efforts over back at that main raid. And honestly, one defender might be enough to try and slow down Goons here. Goons don't really have an opportunity to try and catch up. This is not the base that you want to raid if you want a shot at winning out on top of the day, but we'll see.
Hey, it's worth a try. If you can take out, one of the top level people, you've one, disrupt the entire tournament, but two, it's more about personal pride that you can go, hey, we did this. And with that, they would get themselves a little closer to fourth. Actually, they would jump to fourth technically, so just shy of the top three. So it's worth the shot. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Let's go for the attack. I'm not surprised why Goons are trying, and they will do what they can with it.
Ultimately, this could actually work out in Fanta's favor, because they are so close, 20 points off. I don't know how long that quote unquote raid has been going on for Goons. So maybe raid defense points, maybe PvP points will be enough for Fanta to possibly catch up to winnable here. But now back over at this base, I think teams are wary of the timer and are trying to go for bounty wipes, but that was a lot of wasted C4 ultimately in the end on that base. CLS AMG not out of the fire quite yet. No one's at home. There we go. We actually got one rooftop defender. DEA is outside of the compound right now. Tree still working here. And you can see that I don't believe any repairs have gone off on this side of the base. So CLS AMG still have a lot of work to deal with. Free TC trying to run in naked. We'll see what they can grub up as TQ ends up finding a gun at the very least. Her pushing out on the defense. Loses out. No! Ends up surviving. 49 HP. But there is still two more members alive here. Oh my goodness. Free TC just scrambling in this fight. DEA is here. And we'll clean up. It looks like Tree, though, are getting pushed from their flank. That's going to be free TC, actually. As we check back on Fanta's base, it looks like Goons have been able to get two players back on in black. Spawning in from the outside back, drop down from Bonaqua. And that is going to be successful, but there's a second Raider here. Little Pick will be able to get the trade.
Well, Goons again putting some damage onto the the Winnable's base, and they are going to be Fanta's
Oh,
base, and that's going to be denied from the left field. But I tell you what, CLS AMG, how they have survived with so many teams around them is incredible. The base design has worked out well. They just need to survive 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And if they do, you know what? I don't care if they're in fourth. That's one hell of a hold. That's one hell of a defend that they have put forward. But we are still eyeing up the Goons and Winnable and Fanta's game. But there is a winnable player here. So Winnable changing strategy. Have they sent off a recon to maybe eye up the possibility of taking out a major competitor here? And they're going for the frags. They're getting the kills, and this might be some great information.
yeah, for winnable, all they need to do is just PvP. All they need to do is PvP because now the only real opportunity is for CLS AMG to pick up. I think they need 14 more PvP kills. They should get full raid defense points at the end of this raid phase, and that'll pop them up to about 241. Yeah, 241. So I think Winnable are doing the right thing. They're splitting up. They're sending their forces out to multiple fights. They're getting involved in everything because that's where the PvP is. Unfortunately, Fahad ends up going down, but he ended up picking up a kill here or there. And so that should be enough for them. You can see that Her is on that kill streak. They, I think, might have been able to spot that out that, hey, there's an opportunity here. Wyvern. Okay, Wyvern. Yeah, no, I think he's just trying to
Oh
pull their
wow,
attention
there's a
away. This
cabinet.
is really smart. This is really smart.
That is gonna be huge. CLS AMG. No, other side. Other side. No, I can't believe it. Go the other way. Go the other way. One more ladder. You're gonna see it. There it is. He's found the cabinet.
Oh
What
my god.
has he done? He's taken out the goons who were fighting somewhere else, and CLS AMG jumps into third. Not only are they defending their base, they just attacked an easy base.
They win. they win. In a minute 30, they're going to get their raid defense points. As long as their TC stands for the next minute 30, they win. And now Winnable are on the back foot. They need to actually get in here. They actually need to take out this TC, but there is no other way for them to secure the victory today. What a miracle play coming out from that CLS AMG player. That is absurd. What?
Is crazy to see, and it's now down to the minute to go. They've got to defend like their life depends on it. The full force of everybody is here at this one base. No player left unaccounted. They're shooting from afar. No more rockets really flying in, so the sideline attacks are not going to work. Winnable trying on the outside, just going for kills, trying to increase the damage. Free Tech still within this game, but they are not going to be here to fight. CLS AMG jumped up to second now. They're tied with Fanta, and they just need more kills. They've got the defense advantage, and CLS AMG are continuing to close the gap. 10-point difference. 20 seconds left, and still the cabinet is not found, and CLS AMG have performed the greatest miracle in Rust history, and they have defended for over 30 minutes, and with a base that has been destroyed, CLS AMG with 271 takes the win.
That's absurd. That's absurd. I have never seen an ending like that. You're defending your base. It's been 30 minutes, and they end up sending out one player with what was that? He had splashed through the sheet metal wall, exposed four walls, took a huge risk, and somehow behind one of those walls was the TC, and he ends up securing it, and that's what they needed. Winnable. You saw how quickly they shifted. As soon as CLS AMG ended up taking that TC, they knew that in the last minute 30, the only option available for Winnable now was to go after that TC. They all spawned in there as quickly as they could. What a crazy finish for CLS AMG. So yeah, the raid defense points ultimately in the end is what netted them that victory, but that miracle TC as well. That is absolutely absurd. Taking a look at our second place team, that is gonna be winnable with two raids completed, two raid defenses, and man, that is I've never seen a finish like that.
It's a tough pill to swallow if you're winnable, to see that a base has just been taken away from them. And I feel they got a little too comfortable. They were going for the picks, they were going for the kills. They weren't really fighting an easy base where they could have just thrown their bodies at, taken the base win for themselves, and guaranteed a victory. So I think a bit of cockiness, a little bit of comfort kicked in. And yeah, CLS AMG, that you can't you I think the odds in that, if someone did the calculations for the odds to find that cabinet, is unreal. Absolutely unreal. I don't think there is a high enough percentage to say that they would find that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, for winnable that they really let their guard down or anything. Honestly, that's like almost a 1 in a million play. Like, who has the gall when your base is getting raided by 3, 4 teams to send out 33% of your fighting force? Remember, this is threes. So to send out 33% of your fighting force to go for a miracle play like that. I don't even know how he found the boom once he got out of that base. I don't like, was that just a raid that they gave up on earlier and they're like, "Oh, we still have beds over here, so I might as well try something. We still have, loot over here somehow." The yeah, none of that makes sense to me. None of that makes sense to me. But yeah, taking a look at Team Fanta, they've got 4 raid defenses, 3 raids completed. A little bit negative there on the KD, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you're still in third place with 247 points. And man, taking a look how close it was amongst our top four, Tree had a huge opportunity there as well as our fourth place team, 228 points. There were only 43 points off. So if they had ended up finding CLS AMG's TC and a few more PvP kills, well, actually, if they ended up taking out CLS AMG, they would have been the winners. But yeah, 3 raids completed, 96 kills, and 83 deaths to them. So, man, what an incredible way to finish off the day.
It was absolutely chaotic, and as soon as I saw CLS AMG's base being bombarded by 5 people, 5 teams, I was like, "Yep, this is probably either gonna be a complete wipe." And when it went on for 5 minutes and still no progression, I was like, "Okay, now this is gonna be quite interesting." And yeah, and I also got to give credit to FreeTech. You know, as much as they don't have big points, there's a massive point gap. They kept on going. Same with One Rush. One Rush was the most aggressive out of the two sub 200 points. One Rush was aggressive. They tried. They kept trying, and I think that does show with their deaths. I think they had more deaths than they did kills. But Free Tech doing a fantastic job. 103 to 89. No raids completed and no defenses. Free Tech basically just had a killing spree.
Yeah, unfortunate for free TC. They just kept getting countered on these, and that's can be typical. Because teams know how easy it is to basically get on top of the raid platform and take that out. So it was just unfortunate for free TC. A lot of action around their base. Unfortunately for them, that drew a lot of our heavy hitters into this. But yeah, that's going to be CLS AMG with a miracle win for EU. And that will go ahead and do it for EU. We will be back in a couple more hours for North America. So if you guys want to make sure you hit that follow button so you know that when we go back live again for North America, we will be back. That will do it for us here at Base Invaders. Once again, presented by Rustoria Servers, and of course, sponsored by Rusty Pot. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in just a little bit for North America.